All right, before I start the review for these two episodes of Legend of Korra, I kind of want to apologize if my previous review sounded like I hated the show. I do not. I love the show. I love the characters. I'm just saying the way this season is going, it just feels like it's nothing but character arcs, focusing on certain characters and locations rather than a flowing narrative. No really story with an end goal or decent ending. It might just carry on to season 4. Who knows? And if that works out, fine. I was just stating what it feels like and the theme of change and how that's affecting this season. But the theme of change cannot carry over to a different season if it's going to be called something else. I'm just saying. But on to the actual review of this bi-weekly 2 episodes. I don't know how to say it, but I guess this week's 2 episodes, season 3, episode 6 and 7, I believe. Yeah, 6 and 7. And 6 is just mostly finishing up what 5 started. Lin Bei Fang's relationship with her sister and how I got to that point. With some stuff of the villains. Let's get the villains out of the way. They just mostly want to get out of Republic City because now they're wanted and they want to get out so they can find Korra. And they manage to escape. And at the end of the episode, they figure out, oh, she's with the Metal Clan. Whether they're still going to be there, though, is questionable because now they finally convinced Opal to come with them to the Air Nation, or at least get her to the Air Nation. And whether they need to stay there anymore or not, who knows? They'll probably leave soon, and then the villains are going to be there attacking for no reason. So that's going to happen. The little bit of comedy that is in these 2 episodes is mostly just Varric. He has the magnet suit, metal is just attracted to him. And then he just tells Julie, clean this shit up. Okay. And that does bring up a good point that I did not laugh at all during these 2 episodes. In fact, I did not even laugh at Varric. The magnet suit was cute, but it wasn't that funny. And you get the feeling like they're focusing more on the drama in these episodes. Almost soap opera-like. And it's not technically bad, but it's very noticeable. Like, there's no comedy. I'm not laughing. I mean, I like the background, stories to these characters, but can I get some kind of laugh, some kind of joke somewhere in there? But for the most part, for the drama itself, it's decent. I like it. Especially this episode, which focused mostly on Toph and her daughters. And if you were to ask me, who do I put the most blame on for causing these problems, I would say Toph. Toph seemed more unlikable in this fight between the sisters than the sisters themselves. When they said Toph gave them freedom, I imagined more like she didn't care what happened to them. Just go do what you want. You're free. Do like I was. But when I first saw Toph, it seemed more like she wasn't giving them freedom. She was giving herself freedom from her daughters. She didn't like being responsible for them. She didn't like that they represented her, so to speak. And I don't know if that's a good character to grow up with. Because when you really think about it, as a kid, Toph wanted freedom. When she finally got it, she did not want to let it go. She had the freedom to do what she wanted. She had the freedom to help her friends. She had the freedom to save the world. She had the freedom to pretty much do whatever the hell she wanted. And even after they saved the world, I assume she kept going for that freedom. But then finally something caught up to her. Children. She had children, and she immediately got this responsibility and freedom taken away from her. Children take freedom away from you. And on some level, you can almost feel like Toph didn't like that. Toph did not like the fact that her freedom was being taken away, even from her own daughters. So all of a sudden, she just said, okay, you guys have freedom. I'm not going to be involved with your lives. don't be involved with mine. And that was kind of harsh, seeing Toph do this to her own daughters. And I like how Lin Beifong, she was given freedom, and she decided to use that freedom to give herself discipline and rules, while her sister took advantage of that freedom. But because of that, she had no direction, she had no knowing right from wrong, she had no idea what she wanted or what she needed to do. She had no purpose. And it's just kind of both tragic for both characters. Lin had freedom, she had no purpose, she just gave herself rules. But the rules didn't lead her to anywhere. Lin's sister had freedom, she had nowhere to go, but she didn't have the idea to give herself some rules, some basic ground rules to follow. So they just kind of screwed each other over, but it's also thanks to Toph. Toph was not that great of a mother. She was almost kind of horrible. And it's almost sad to see Toph this way. You would think she would have matured over time, but it almost feels like no, she's still that little girl who wants freedom, who doesn't want any responsibility, who wants nothing to hold her down. And even if it's her daughter, she's really willing to cut them off. It's like, nope, I want nothing to do with you. It's almost, damn. But they resolve their problems. The sisters resolve their problems through fighting. They just beat each other senseless. Yeah, let's do that. But either way, they finally talk it out. You know, Lin apologizes to Opal. She realizes, I shouldn't have taken out my anger on you. And it's a sweet ending to their squabble. It's still not over. They're still uncomfortable with each other, but they're willing to say when they're bothering each other. And that's as far as they can go. And that's enough. I can live with that. So the next episode is just Tenzin having problems training the new airbenders. They're not that, they were willing to come with him to live there, but they still weren't interested enough of the culture and the traditions. So they're of course uncomfortable with Tenzin's teaching methods. He tries to talk to Bumi. Bumi says, as a soldier, you have to be tough, iron fist. That is a bad idea, because Tenzin takes it to heart and he becomes a dictator, which makes me feel like Tenzin really does not know the true culture of airbenders, other than just the poems, the writings. He doesn't know the actual life they lived. They didn't seem to be that iron-fisted. They didn't seem to be focused on rules. So seeing him treat them like they were soldiers was almost kind of like anti-airbendish. Airbenders were supposed to be free of these worldly ideals of fighting or getting involved with people, but this training montage almost feels like you need to be ready to combat an army kind of feeling. And I guess that's a self-defense kind of way, but at the same time it's just tense and take it easy. But then there are also these poachers. Apparently they hunt down sky bison because they're so rare, but they also kidnap airbenders and saying we should take them to Ba Sing Se, to the Earth Queen. Now whether that means these poachers actually work for the Earth Queen is questionable. It just seemed like they heard a rumor that the Earth Queen was looking for airbenders, and they were saying, hey, she'll probably pay a pretty penny for them. Let's capture all the airbenders we can get. But the talk with the poachers actually made the Earth Queen not just evil and bitchy, but almost just fucking psycho. They say that it's just a rumor, but they say that she ate the bear that her father had, the original Earth King had, actually ate the bear. If that's just a rumor, thank God. But if it's not just a rumor, if it actually happened, oh my God, this this bitch needs to die. I really hope there's some kind of revolution that ends with her being decapitated, because this bitch is just horrible. Even when she's not in the episode, she still ruins it for me by making me uncomfortable with just the rumors about her. It's like she ate the bear that was so sweet and lovable and actually almost human-like. And my God, good God. Either way, though, the airbender thing wasn't that important. It was just Tenzin trying to find a way to balance out being a good mentor, but also at the same time being a patient airbender. You know, he's also learning how to be a good airbender, of letting them learn on their own. So, all in all, the first one was the better episode of going into the background of Toph and her family, while Tenzin's episode of just trying to teach these new airbenders how their culture was fine. It had some bumps on the road. The Earth Queen came in and ruined it, even though she was nowhere near the episode. But all in all, it was nice. So this was a good couple of episodes. I'm just hoping more of the villains and more progression of getting to something, finding a certain end goal. And that's probably not going to happen until 2 weeks from now. Or no, actually no, 4 weeks from now. Because I get the feeling like the next 2 weeks are just finding out more about the villains and their journey into the Metal City. And Korra probably going out to another city. Who knows? So, yeah, it's actually kind of getting hard to predict where this show is going, just from the bi-weekly thing. But what I'm seeing so far, it's good. I like it. It's soap opera-ish. It's more character-driven. There's no real story or look into the world itself, but I'm hoping that comes into the season 4, if the season 3 is going to carry on to season 4. But either way, good couple of episodes. Waiting for them to, get to the villains versus Korra thing, if that's going to happen sometime near the end of the season or next season. But either way, can't wait for the next 2 episodes. So, I'm Tony Dragon, and bye.